YouTube friends. It's been a while since I made a sort of a cancer related video or anything like that. That's basically because there's not much I can tell you these days, I'm still getting the odd issue here and there to do with sort of not so much having cancer but the treatments I went through to get rid of the cancer. They're going to be ongoing for the rest of my life. But what I thought I'd do with this video is I've literally about a week ago seen Miss Uzi, which is my specialist. And when I went in there, basically put the camera up my nose, showed me the things, which is basically the first time I think I've actually ever seen like what the inside was. But she was actually showing another young lady that she was busy training some of the things that they need to look for and things like that, but also she was sort of saying, look, Mark, we've now reached the 5-year point. We were now basically going to be classified as officially cancer free because there's been no growth, there's been no thingy. You officially now you're going to be treated like you are cancer free. You will no longer have to come in and have any of these regular checkups. We will leave the door open still for another year, so that if you feel that there's anything going on that's untoward, you can get in touch with my secretary. She'll book you in for an appointment again. So that is what happened then, and I posted it on sort of me social medias, and I got a lot of people commenting, oh, that's great, that's fantastic, you must be so relieved, and blah blah blah. And in all honesty, it seems to have actually thingied them more than it's thingied me. I've always carried on with life as normal, regardless of what I was going through. It didn't faze me. It didn't make me any different to who I am now. There has been no difference to me. So when I found out, it was like, all right, champion, no worries, cool. And off I went. That was it. I posted on social media, and then went about doing things as I've always done. Went back to work the very next day. Nothing. Just that was it. It was done. It was dusted. I'm gonna actually, in some ways, miss going in there to see Miss Uzi, because it's just always lovely to have a quick chat with her and stuff like that. Because she's a lovely woman. She's fantastic. She's a specialist in what she does. She's got a great bedside manner. So I'm going to miss seeing that smile. I'm going to miss giving her a hug and what have you. That part of her will miss. The rest of it, it's just life goes on as normal. There's no difference to us. It's just that I've been told now that I'm officially, because it's 5 years on, cancer free. What difference does that make in my life in any other way that I've already thinking? I have no idea. Does it mean I can now get insurances again because I'm classed as cancer free? Does it mean I can travel abroad to the likes of America and not have to worry about the freaking thing that I've had this cancer thing over the top of us? I don't know. I don't know if it makes any difference. That's something I suppose we'll find out as time goes on, if I ever decide to travel and see how the travel insurance works and stuff like that. But I did have one issue, which was just before I went to see her, I started getting really, really bad headaches, like really bad, but basically just down one side of my face. It was like literally, so you could literally almost cut myself in half, and it was like the right hand side of my face was just, oh my god, the pain was unbearable. I mean, I've been told I've got a very, very high pain threshold. I have headaches every day. They don't bother us. To me, because of the fact that I'm so used to them, they're like a level 1, level 2 type headache. I know they're there, and but they just don't faze us at all. These ones were up, and the thing is where I was literally wanting to just bang my head off a wall and knock myself out just to get away from it for a short period. It was that bad, and you tell me, like, even touching around here was painful today. And I don't use the word painful very often. I don't like using the word painful. Painful brings up that thingy of something is extraordinarily out of the thingy of this. Yeah. Whereas I normally like to use uncomfortable because it's a lot less severe than painful. If something's uncomfortable, it means you can live with it. You can deal with it. It's not nice, but you can get away with it. Painful is something that makes you think to yourself, "Is this is something I don't want? I do not want things." These things were painful. These things were thingy. I mean, it got to the point where it was so bad and so thingy on us all the time. It never relented. It never thingy. Taking headache tablets, that I always taken, didn't even relieve it at all. It had me in tears, and that's something I don't do. I've never freaking cried for God knows how many years, but it had me in tears. Like a couple of days that week until I got to see the doctor. Um, and the sort of doctor was asking us a few questions and going, well, you know, it sounded like a sinus type thing. He said, but it's not. I think his sinus would cover across both of them on that thingy. And he goes, do you have any problems with your neck or anything like that? And I goes, well, yeah, I've always had problems with my neck since I've had the treatments. Obviously, it's dried my neck area out, so I get a hell of a lot of bloody tension going through it, and I get a hell of a lot of bloody cramping up in my neck. You know, it just seems I get a lot of cramping up in my jaw. If I open my jaw up wide to take a bite of something, I'm guaranteed it's gonna cramp up and it's gonna be very, very uncomfortable. And I mean very, very uncomfortable for a period of time until it calms down. Same as my neck. If I move it in certain directions or I overstretch it, or there's times when it just it'll do for no reason at all. I might just turn my heat like that and it'll just cramp up something chronic. He said, it sounds like you've got a tension headache. And he gave us some stuff to basically help the muscles relax and also help the sleep. He says, because how's your sleeping again? I said, well, I sleep, but not great. I never have. I've never have since basically, when I found out I had cancer. Even though nothing going on in my head, I just don't sleep all that well. I'll sleep on and off. Yeah, I won't get like a full 6-7 hours sleep. I'm not even in bed for 6-7 hours, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, I don't get that thing yet. I still get issues with stuff. When I go to bed on a night time, you're guaranteed that my neck will have spasms as it's trying to relax. So there must be the tension there throughout the whole bloody day, and that when I come to a night time to go to bed, to go to sleep, it's like instantly I'll feel it. It's like how can I explain it? It's like little tiny spasms going up and down the neck, almost like it's cramping and releasing, cramping and releasing, cramping and releasing. It's just like all the way up down the neck, and that can go on for quite a while before it eventually settles and I go to sleep. Yeah, that's one of the sort of hardships of it all. Yeah, and I do know that I'm still gonna possibly have issues with my eyes, with developing cataracts earlier. I've still got all those other issues that could, at some point, raise the ugly heads. They may not. I may be free of any of that stuff throughout my life. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. I mean, one of the worst things with the tension headache, because it was on the right hand side and it was like basically based from sort of my nasal area going up and around this part of it before it started eventually spreading down here, is it did have us worried that the cancer had come back. But I was also like, well, hang on a minute, it's 4.5 years down the line, nearly 5 years down the line. I've never had an issue with it. It cannot be the cancer come back. It could potentially be another cancer developed in the same area, but it couldn't be that cancer coming back because it's not, as far as I'm aware and as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't possible though. There's no freaking way would a cancer remain dormant for that lengthy period of time, then all of a sudden again, fuck it, I'll attack him now, I'll fucking bring him to new. So I wasn't concerned, but it did sort of, there was that little thing in the back of the head then, could this be a cancer come back? Could this be another form of cancer in the same area? Could you be that unlucky to get another one in that thing? Thankfully, the tablets and everything have worked. I've done a lot of neck stretching exercises, and I've still got to do them regular as clockwork now. And I think myself, I do not want to go and get this tension headache back. We've got to realise that when I'm doing these exercises for my neck, it sets the cramps off. Which means that was hard when I was going through the headaches that were tension based because of the cramps, to set the cramp off, which then made the headache worse before it would eventually start to ease and then ease the headache. That was an immense amount of freaking pain to go through. That was like almost at the point where, again, I could quite easily take a gun and just shoot myself to get rid of the pain. It was getting to that point. I'm lucky it never ever ranged to a level 10. It was always sort of like a 7, 8, going towards a 9. Yeah, it never reached the 10, thankfully. Otherwise, God knows what I would have things with. I mean, I've been lucky in that respect. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm basically class is cancer free. Get in, super cool. You see, just another normal day for me. Just another normal thingy for me. Life goes on, and I said I would always live with this thing until I could no longer live with it. By the looks of it, I've been lucky that it gave up rather than me giving up, or rather than my body giving it up. It gave up. Yeah, and I've been sort of, whether you class that as lucky, whether you class that as God's done something, if you believe in God or whatever, it is what it is. I'm now being told it's 5 years on. I'm now officially cancer free, but it hasn't changed anything in my life. Nothing's changed. I don't feel any massive sense of relief, because it was almost like, well, it was already gone. I know it was already gone. So what difference is being told 5 years down the line that I'm now, oh yes, you are cancer free. I already felt like I was cancer free anyway. So yeah, it's the main point for me is that any other underlying issues going to stem up from going through the treatments I went through, because they seem to be causing me more grief than what the cancer did. I know the cancer would have eventually killed us if we didn't have the treatment. So I'm not saying no, I wouldn't get through the treatment because this is what's happening. That's not the case at all. What I'm saying is that the having the cancer didn't seem to cause me as much thingy as what is happening now through the treatments. If you understand what I mean, it's like going through the treatments didn't bother us. It's now after I've had the treatments, with the issues with my neck, with the issues with my jaws, with the issues of not being able to open my mouth wide enough to like, be able to eat a burger properly and stuff like that. I find that difficult, and I find it very painful today. Yeah, to know that my eyes aren't as good as what they used to be, and then I'm sort of this times and I'm sort of struggling. I'm gonna have to probably go back and get my eyes tested again, because I'm believing now that my vision is getting slightly worse. Yeah, is that going to deteriorate rapidly now? Am I going to be sort of at a point where I'm going to, I don't even want to think about going blind, because that would just, I know there's people live with it, and I would have to learn to cope. It would be very difficult for me, being somebody that I play games on a regular basis and thoroughly enjoy that. I've got me sort of my collection that I've got, to not be able to see them anymore, to not be able to see my collection, to not be able to see the new stuff that comes out and want to collect them, to not be able to see the stuff on the TV and stuff like that, and have to just listen to things rather than being able to see them and watch these Marvel thingies in the DC universe and all that type of stuff. Yeah, but the main one would be, how the hell would I get to the gym? I wouldn't be able to drive to the gym. I'd have to actually expect somebody else to take me to the gym. I'd have to expect somebody to help me get underneath the equipment and set myself up. I would also have to trust somebody to change the weights and everything for us. That's a burden to somebody. I don't want to be a burden to nobody. You know what I mean? That would be like a massive burden to somebody that have to continue to do that in order for me to be able to go into the gym and work out. That's why I just don't even want to comprehend it. I don't want to think it, because even the thought of that type of thing is like, oh, well, no, that's a killer in my head. You know what I mean? That's worse than having the fucking cancer to me. Because at least with the cancer, I was training still. But anyway, So there you go, guys. I'm cancer free. That's thing. I will still put updates on how my body's doing and how it's coping with all the after effect type things. If there's any other after effects come on, and I'll just do life updates every now and again, just to sort of say, hey, look, I'm still still going. I'm still having this type of issue or that type of issue. Is that old age? Is that part of the freaking what I've went through with the treatments? Who's to say? We're not going to know. Yeah, some of them are going to be part of the treatments I've went through. Others is going to be just old age creeping up on us. I mean, I'm in my 50s now, so. But anyway, guys, thanks for those that have watched. Thanks for those that have been interested and followed this journey. This part of that journey has come to an end. Officially come to an end. That part of the journey. It's now just the rest of life's journey. Where will it lead? Where will I go? Who will I become? I don't know. Let's find out in future episodes. Catch you later, guys. This is Beardy Nerdy Off, and I'm out.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say
Okay,
that? I mean,
okay.